Welcome back everyone to the Garena Premier League Summer 2017. This is actually a very interesting match because, as we like to call it, this is the match for TME against the Headhunters, the pride of the Philippines, representative of the PGS, will be facing off in this game. So once again, I'm Vulcan, and with me is me.
Yeah, and so it's going to be the Kuala Lumpur Hunters versus the Team Manila Eagles. And the Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they haven't been doing so well today. They've dropped already 2 games. I believe they dropped a game against both Headhunters and Resurgence. So it's not looking too good for them. But let's see if they're able to restabilize. Let's see if they can regain their composure, as there's a lot on the line. They don't want to make any of that go to waste. And because of the early disconnect from the previous game, the Resurgence versus Kuala Lumpur Hunter game, it will be the Kuala Lumpur Hunters losing a ban. And right off the bat, we do see that Shiro, he didn't exactly have the best game previously. He was on that Renekton and was struggling against that Rumble, but he's going to be on a comfort pick with this Jarvan pickup.
Well, this is something that KLH will have to come back from. They still need that determination, but as the rules say, KLH will be losing 1 ban in the first phase. So TME, they do have the advantage. They are hovering on that Zac. So far, no ADCs has been banned, but so far, the Headhunters never defeated KLH. So this is just a clarification. So the chances...
Yeah, my bad.
So the chances and the way the standings can go is still anyone's game. We can even have like triple tiebreakers.
Yeah, and in the previous game yesterday, the TME versus KLH matchup, it was TME that came out on top. So let's see if they can maintain that level of play. And it's going to be Trevor on the Corki again. This is a pick that actually was extremely effective against this Kuala Lumpur lineup, and they're going to take it in the first rotation on this red side. Meanwhile, Kuala Lumpur Hunters, there are a couple options left. Cho'Gath is an option. We haven't seen Caspiel play that Cho'Gath, so I don't think they're going to take it just yet. And it will instead be the Orianna, already picking up by R-Hedge for that mid lane. And they do have one more pick. They could take their AD carry, or they could opt for support. We do see a lot of options left on the table, and it will be the AD carry, the Tristana lock-in for Azura Vecchi.
So this will be KLH solidifying their jungle, mid, and bot. As for TME, as you said, the Corki has been one of Trevor's, let's say, good psyche, good omen champion. So he would like to start things off really well, but let's see what will be their final pick. So far, no support ADC has been locked in yet.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the high priority for TME.
The Thresh is still open for Rocks, but it will instead be the Janna coming in for Rocks. So another good pick and a really safe pick as well to add to that.
And this is actually the same Corki we did see where TME won against KLH in the first day of the group stages.
So it's now the second wave of bans. What are they going to ban now? We do see that the Braum will be banned away. And looks like they're be focusing on the support bans right now. So Thresh is still an option. Thresh is probably one of the better picks you can pick into the Janna. But knowing TME, Bipolar does play a really good Thresh. So I wouldn't be surprised if TME does decide to ban this away. Meanwhile, we see the Marquis Twitch being banned out. So they're going to try to get rid of the hyper carries, as you couple a hyper carry with that Janna, and that's extremely effective.
So I wonder if KLH will ban out totally all ADCs of Marquis, because we did see in the first day, we had four marksmen banned onto TME. So now let's see, what will KLH prioritize? We are seeing another support ban from TME.
It will be the Alistar, and
oh boy.
Yeah, so no Saya, no Twitch, but what is available is the Kalista. We do have this Jinx. We have seen Marquis play the Jinx before, yesterday actually, and it is an option when you do have the Janna as your support. But Kog'Maw, we completely missed that. And Kog'Maw, it's like a better version of the Jinx. You have the extremely strong hyper carry, and throughout the previous day, yesterday, Kog'Maw has been banned constantly against Marquis, but this will be the first time that Marquis will get the chance to play Kog'Maw in the GPL stage. And how does KLH decide to respond to this?
And this is actually the same routine we saw for TME's finals, where JLC would be picking his top last. This is going to be one of the key matchups. So now we're going to be seeing a Blitz pickup. Really, Marquis might have a hard time against a Blitz crack. So KLH still sticking in their last pick. They have yet to secure a jungler or a top.
Yeah, I really like that Blitzcrank pick. They were considering the Thresh. I think the Thresh might have been a bit more consistent, but the Blitzcrank is a lot more all-in. And seeing how KLH have been playing today, they've been playing a very aggressive, really very reckless. And whether it's effective or not, the Blitzcrank really complements this, and it will be the Caspiel on his Kha'Zix. This is something he's really good at, something we haven't seen yet so far this tournament, and I'm excited to see if it will be effective against TME. Meanwhile, JLC going for a comfort pick, and we'll lock in that Shen into the Jarvan, something that he's very familiar with.
So this is going to be really interesting to see what Caspiel can do on that Kha'Zix. He has to shape up in a way that cannot have the same mishap he did with that Nidalee. He likes to steal everything, but Coops can at least compete with that. This is going to be the second game of KLH and TME. TME securing the first victory.
Yep, and let's see how it goes. I know that Marky and Rox, they've been probably the highlights of this TME roster so far throughout the tournament. They've been really consistent in the bottom lane. They did a pretty decent job actually yesterday against Becky and Bipolar. So I'm curious to see if that will continue, if that will be the trend, as you've got two extremely good scaling AD carries in that bottom lane, the Kog'Maw and the Tristana, and that's going to be one of the keys. And speaking of Rox and speaking of Marky, I do believe we have a video, actually an interview after the first day of the GPL. So let's go check that out.
Let's see what Marky and Rox has to say in this interview before going into the game of KLH.
Sobrang challenging at nakakapagod sa utak at physically.
Sa akin, syempre, sobrang saya kasi first time ko lumipad, first time ko makalaro ng live yung mga international teams. Kaya parang kailangan ko mas galingan pa kaysa dun sa ginawa ko sa Pinas, yung gagawin ko ngayon.
Well, lahat naman ng mga bot lanes ng nakalaban namin, lahat malalakas.
Para sa akin, lahat sila. Malakas sila para sa akin lahat kasi di naman sila makakapasok dito sa GPL kung hindi sila malakas, diba? Kaya mas kailangan lang namin gawin, mas lalo namin gagalingan, mas lalakasan namin. Kasi alam namin malalakas sila eh.
Well, yung nasa isip ko is kinalimutan ko yung mga mistakes namin ng mga nakakang games at nag-focus lang ako sa game namin na susunod.
Para sa akin naman, nung natalo kami, syempre malos kami malungkot. Pero ang kailangan namin mag-move on at kailangan namin mag-focus sa next games namin para mas lalo pa namin mapaganda yung laro namin. Nung sa YG, ang mali namin siguro dun yung masyado kami nag-focus dun sa pag-pick namin dun sa dapat baban talaga namin eh. Kasi tinignan Maokai tsaka yung Cho'Gath. Nung pinik namin yun, parang yung ano namin, yung talagang laro namin, hindi namin nagawa. Kasi dahil doon sa lineup na yun.
Sa tingin ko kaya kami natalo sa H2 kasi yung nabase na namin yung Tori sa top tsaka sa bot, hindi namin nakapitalize yung lamang namin na yun. Tapos na overfed yung Rek'Sai sa mga skirmishes na nangyayari, tapos yung Rek'Sai na nagdala-dala lahat kami na papatumban niya na. Patuloy nga pa rin kami suportahan at panoorin bukas sa laban namin at sisiguraduhin namin mananalo kami. Gagawin namin makakain namin.
So guys, that was the words from the Philippine ADC duo from the BGS. So let's hope that TME can pull another win against KLH. But interesting enough, we are going to be seeing a heal on Rox and a barrier on Marky, a very defensive spell in the bot lane.
And that is something that we have seen yesterday. It's something you want to do when you're just looking to play as defensive as possible, when you just want to scale as much as possible. Because when you look at the Janna matchup, the interesting about picking the Janna is that you don't build the Sightstone immediately. You lose a lot of early game presence by not building that Sightstone, and instead you rush for that Ardent Sensor. So you're playing a very safe matchup. You're running runes, gold per 10 runes, to get that Ardent Sensor as fast as possible. But before you get that, you're extremely weak, and KLH, they're going for something cheeky. They are looking for the pick in this bottom lane, but TME, they seem pretty smart. They're not falling for that bait. And we do see pings actually, lots of pings in that area, so they kind of have an idea of what's going on.
So this is going to be TME not falling for the standoff that KLH wants to start. Level 1, KLH will have the advantage, but they will be going for the blue buff from Coops. And sometimes we see JLC on this Shen, right? His performance is somehow not consistent. Sometimes it works, it backfires because the rotations, the macro play has been yet solidified by TME. But let's see, this time KLH may have learned from their previous game from TME.
Yeah, and we do see that Caspiel was able to steal the blue away from Coops. He is going for the Gromp as well, so a lot of camps from the side of TME being taken away, and Coops doesn't know this. It looks like TME will not know this is going to happen. This
Level
is
2
gonna
gank.
That's going to put Coops really far behind, but they will spot Caspiel out, so TME knows what's up. They do have that ward in the bush, and with that, the information is there. So Coops should be adjusting accordingly, should be making his way towards enemy blue buff, and that is indeed the case.
Bipolar looking for some grab. He does grab Rocks. Rocks flashing away. Flash A from Caspiel. A first blood, however, goes to Bipolar.
Very aggressive and very decisive play coming in from Bipolar. Bipolar wasn't even level 2 yet. He just relied on the flash grab and relied on the burst damage coming in from Kha'Zix and Becky to just really finish off that kill, but it did pay off. They did burn a barrier, a flash, and a heal from this bottom lane of TME, and that's not what you want when you're playing this Kog'Maw Janna bot lane.
You lose that window of grace where you have the safety of your spells. So this will be KLH making TME's bot lane vulnerable, but let's not ignore the fact that the first blood went to Bipolar,
Yeah.
so they do not get that huge value. Veki and Caspiel will be splitting that up, so I guess Bipolar may be rushing the Sightstone first, but as you said, the Ardent Sensor is a favorable pickup for Rux to boost the damage coming from Marky.
Yeah, and this might actually be a point in time where you opt to not get that Ardent Sensor, knowing that you're already far behind. It's going to be really hard for you to survive this laning phase without that Sightstone, and if you're being zoned out by the Blitzcrank to collect, you won't be able to collect those coins, making it very hard. So I think it might be better for Rox to buy the Sightstone instead and kind of delay that Ardent Sensor. But this is very good for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They have full control over the spot side. Coops really needs to move his attention towards this bottom side. Meanwhile, Caspiel will have free reign. He is quite behind though in CS. We do see it's 3-17. We just saw Caspiel take blue, Gromp, red buff, recall, whereas Coops was able to go Raptor, red, enemy Gromp into the Krugs, so he is slightly ahead in that regard.
And in terms of EXP wise too, so he will be reaching a bit late.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that he was willing to trade that all off to scare and to threaten the bot lane of TME.
Yeah, and it looks like TME is okay with the scenario that they're in, because we do see Trevor has picked up the skull. That means he is looking to scale as well. TME knows that they're going to lose early game, but the hook onto Marky.
Good night on the Marky. Marky will be backing off. He will survive that death grab. So far, Rux is going to be the shielding there. Coops does get spotted in the river. Caspiel scaring away Coops.
And this is what Caspiel is really good at, controlling the enemy jungler. Caspiel now has full reign of the TME jungle. Coops isn't really able to duel against this Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix double buff and has the early Hunter's Potion, so he will be able to sustain quite a bit through this jungle, clear up all these camps, and he's already making his way towards this bottom side. I think they want to dive.
They do want to really shut down that Kog'Maw build, so I like how KLH is playing this. Control the blue side of TME, you control the whole bot lane. So this gives Marky and Rox this paranoia. Like, where is this Kha'Zix? So right now he is just waiting patiently on that brush, but knows better that is a Janna, and you will be very disappointed when you dive a Janna.
Yeah, and because they were able to burn so many summoner spells in this early game, it allows KLH to do so, and because of that, there's already a slight leaking hook.
Oh, despite the Howling Gale, Marky catches the hook. Rox is still there for the assist. Coops for the rescue. Marky is very low. No barrier just yet. The heal, however, will save him from Caspiel. He takes 2 turn hits. The Howling Gale for the knockup onto Bipolar. It will be Marky still leaning in. Coops does have the self-eviction. Fearless, however, but Coops will take down Bipolar.
Yeah, and really good presence of mind by Coops. He had the third sense, the sixth sense kicking in, knowing that he should probably head towards the bottom lane. And I like to commend Bipolar for that good play. Like, that was a really good attempt. However, they didn't have enough damage, and I think their timings were a bit off. I think as a support, you want to be constantly keeping track of the summer spell cooldowns, and Marky actually had barrier during that fight, so even if they did manage to get that hook, I think Marky would have been able to be alive, but because Coop was in the vicinity, they were able to turn a kill around instead of just simply surviving, and that's going to re-establish control over this bottom side.
But bot lane wise, they do establish some control. For the mid lane, I am still nervous seeing Trevor on the mid lane with the Corgi because he did pick up the Doran shield and the call, which further delays his item burst potential. So it's going to be bad news. And Caspiel doing what Caspiel loves to do, stealing everything. But Coops' CS is 31, so he may have the luxury to give away some jungle camps towards Caspiel.
And now with JLC hitting level 6, he does have the Stand United available, so this does allow Marky a lot more breathing room. He will be able to farm up a bit more, and Bipolar doing a pretty good job already of getting these hooks off, but it doesn't seem to be enough right now, as they're investing a lot of resources into the bottom side, but it's not really transitioning into anything. And we do see that Trevor has had a really easy time. Before, in the previous games, Trevor would usually struggle just due to the mid lane jungle pressure, but because Caspiel hasn't been investing all of the resources in the bottom lane, Trevor is allowed to breathe a bit more, and that's going to help transition this into the mid game where they get the power spike, as that call is going to kick in very soon.
Despite TME being pushed into the turrets, Marky's doing a really good job CSing under the turret. So far, no CS difference is too much. Look at that. 60 to 58, and this is Marky farming under that turret with that constant threat. So this is TME really shaping up, but KLH, obviously they want that first turret. And look at the turret's health at 8 minutes and 36 seconds into the game. TME needs to start pushing this.
Yeah, and this is going to fall pretty soon once Caspiel decides to revisit the bottom lane. Teleport is available onto Shiro, but it's a bit unfortunate actually for KLH that the first Drake of the game is the Cloud Drake, so it kind of prevents the snowball from being as punishing as it was if it were something like an Infernal Drake, where because of all this pressure, KLH could have easily taken that dragon, but because it's a Cloud Drake, there isn't that much reason to take it right now, and it kind of lessens the effect of this early game.
And we see that Trevor in the mid lane is having a really difficult early game because CS-wise he is behind, but steadily building towards that during the force, whereas we're seeing the top lane side GLC, again, ready with the Stand United. If a bot lane clash does happen, Shiro already picking up that Tiamat, will be pushing in GLC even more, but we are gonna be seeing Coops around the bot lane.
This turret is getting really low and Caspiel is waiting in the wing, but I think they won't really commit too hard because they do know that Trevor does have teleport. Just use his package though, and Shen does have the Stand United.
Seeing Coops going in for the dive. Bipolar doesn't see it. He catches Caspiel. 2 members under the turret. Give him help, but KLH will back off.
And that was a really good attempt from Coops. It was almost a kill, but again, not enough damage. It's still very early in the game. Marky only sitting on the Berserker Greaves and 1 longsword, so not really much damage in that regard. And Caspiel, again, investing a lot of resources into snowballing this bottom lane.
He lost his flash.
Yeah, he did lose that flash. He has... It's done.
Ooh, Trevor with a Valkyrie for the escape.
Yeah,
that's a pretty close call.
No shockwave now available in that middle lane, so that does relieve some pressure for Trevor.
This is actually good news for TME because they are struggling so far. Coops,
you need to be careful.
Oh boy, he will be spotted. He gets spotted by Bipolar. Caspiel can just leap in. Oh, burning is flash and the great escape. But JLC using safety measures for that Stand United upon does connect onto Caspiel. Orange will be joining in. Coops is very, very low. JLC does not have the Stand United anymore, but will just scare away our hedge.
Yeah, the almost great escape. It would have been okay. It would have been perfect, actually, had JLC not used his Stand United. But really impressive coming in from Coops. I really liked the sequence of skills there. He went for the immediate flash into the immediate charge up. He charged up his electric slingshot enough to the point that he'd go over the wall and beat Katana to the buster shot.
Coops, I hope you have self-division. Yes, he does. Trevor's there, but I don't think Trevor can stop Caspiel. Oh, with the save of the teleport. I don't think that would be worth it. Trevor wasting that teleport in an attempt to save Coops. 3 members converge in the mid lane of TME.
Yeah, and this is partially due to the fact that JLC went down with Coops using that Stand United. It removed a lot of pressure on that top side. Shiro was able to immediately respond. Caspiel knew that he was safe to go invade the jungle, and it just so happened that Coops was at that Raptor camp, so a free kill there, and that kill did go to RH. So RH looking to build that morale of Namcon, and you don't really need that many items to do a lot of damage onto this Orianna, so this Orianna will be quite scary.
Shockwave will connect to Trevor,
Ooh.
but no damage was done a lot, so Trevor will be surviving this burst coming from RH, but the damage will scale up as time goes, so Trevor is on a time limit. He has to at least get a Sheen for more damage. Picking up a Phage for more defensive stats like HP is good. You will survive the burst, but you at least need to deliver damage.
Yeah, and I mean, Trevor is really close to completing the call as well. He's only 11 CS away, so that should add quite a bit to his gold pool. Once he does indeed finish that, he's probably going to be looking to recall very shortly.
Stand United is not yet
not quite yet up. That cooldown is quite long in that early game.
Here comes Coops for the assist. Get Bipolar, makes him kiss a minion, gets knocked to the air. Roxy still has the Howling Gale. Bipolar taking a lot of damage, forcing out his flash.
Yeah, that's a really good buster shot, stopping Marky and Rox in their tracks. And this bottom turret is extremely low. KLH really wants to take this bottom lane turret down, as this will allow for the lane swap to happen, allow them to put pressure onto the Shen and slowly make work on these turrets.
Oh, he finally finished up that call, so good news for Trevor. But Caspiel is there, red buff enchanted. Trevor does not see it coming. Might trade for the first. Oh no! Caspiel with the isolated bonus damage will secure his kill.
And again, another kill onto Trevor underneath his turrets. This is happening to him every single time.
First blood turret.
First blood turret for Kuala Lumpur Hunters that puts them at roughly a 3,000 gold lead. And with that, that's exactly what Kuala Lumpur Hunters need. This Kha'Zix will have a decent amount of gold to his name, as he did get that kill. And they're starting that Rift Herald as well, so they're trying to get that momentum rolling in one go right here and right now, and I don't think TME can do anything about it.
If only Trevor got that shield, that would have changed everything.
Yeah.
What a shame, but let's leave it to time. Time heals all wounds, and time will make Marky scale up. So let's rely on time, and TME will have to stall as long as they can, but when they stall, it's also the fact that Becky will scale as the hyper carry.
KLH isn't really giving much room for TME to stall and to give them time, as with that Rift Herald, that puts a lot of pressure. They can pop that Rift Herald into the top lane, into the bottom lane. Actually, both of these turrets in the top and bottom are extremely low. So once these fall down, that's going to open up the entire map for KLH to just do their thing. They have a Blitzcrank, they have a Kha'Zix. That's perfect pick opportunities right there.
TME willing to risk all for a Cloud Drake.
Yeah, that's only 4 members, and they do need to be careful, as I wouldn't dive for this Drake. It's not worth it.
Caspiel is there, will have the smite advantage. Coop goes in for the dive. Stand United is there. JLC will be joining in the fight. Marky is going to be trying his best, but it will be Caspiel getting the smite advantage. Coop flashes away. There is the Monsoon to split members, and the Shockwave will connect onto Rocks with the reset. Becky's onto Marky, and now Shiro is here from the top lane.
Yeah, like I said, dying for that dragon is not worth it, as now that's going to open up the map for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They can easily push this bottom lane turret if they want to do so. It looks like they will get that bottom lane turret. They still have that Rift Herald onto Caspiel, and the team fight wasn't a good choice at all, as if you take a look at the items from Trevor and Marky, they didn't have the Infinity, they didn't have the Blade of the Rune King, nor did they have the Triforce, and that's really what you want to need before you start taking these fights.
All hope is not yet lost, however, for TME. They are still backing on that Corki and Blade of the Rune King on that Pug Mouse, so let's leave it to time. But KLH, Caspiel is on a roll, 202. that is a Kha'Zix that you want to be fed, so he will be pressuring other lanes. But I'm so scared for Becky because Becky is this threat. He already finished up the static shift. Will be going for more push.
But Rox has finished the Ardent Sensor, so a bit of sustain and a bit of attack speed onto Marky, which should help quite a bit. And Hero gets that top lane turret, pushing the gold lead at 4,000 in favor of KLH. 16 minutes in now, and it looks like the Titanic Hydra from JLC is not enough to stop Hero pushing this lane in.
He did try to respawn as much as he can with the Stand United twice, so this is the penalty he will be paying.
I think it's now where TME is probably at their best opportunity to make a play and try to re-establish control of the map, as we do see that the Triforce and Sorcerer Shoes are completed onto Trevor, while the Blade of the Rune King has been completed onto Marky, so their power spikes are there, and they should be looking to group. They should be looking to try to make something happen, I think.
And the invasion from Caspiel is really paying off because Koops is levels behind, one level behind.
We have to mention this. Rox doesn't have his Sightstone 17 minutes in. This is extremely bad. This is how KLH wins the game, and this is one of the things, one of the risks when you play the Garena. If, like I said earlier, I think he should have went for that Sightstone, as that's going to allow the KLH team to just walk all over the map. The 2 wards from Koops won't be enough to establish vision control. TME hasn't really been investing any money into control wars as well, and I think this is one of the biggest reasons why TME is losing right now.
And I think they are doing this because they are willing to risk everything to bank it onto Marky.
I think it's too late.
I think, yes, it's going to be very difficult for TME to bounce back. Looking at KLH, they are not stopping, pushing the turret. There is the Rift Herald there. Koops goes in, flash burned by Becky. He did get R-Head from a tap, but will not connect for a knock-up. So Rift Herald in top lane, splitting up the members of TME with the Tristana. Becky will have a really good time taking down that turret.
Should be engaged.
Oh boy, Koops gets caught off guard. A shockwave will land onto Marky. The monsoon is there for the heal. GLC comes in for the save, and the Cataclysm onto 3 members. And it will be KLH, really very low. Trevor gets the kill out to Becky, and it will be another kill for JLC. JLC takes the double kill, and it might be an ace, ladies and gentlemen. TME gets the ace with JLC getting the triple. Trevor with a double.
And what an insane engage coming from JLC. The 4-man, I believe it was 4-man, almost 3-man taunt, 4-man, 5-man taunt coming in from JLC was clutch, allowing Trevor to just lay out so much AoE damage. The shred of the armor and magic resist with the Gatling gun was doing so much work there, and that is probably one of the biggest weaknesses of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They have a tendency to overcommit to these plays.
And very aggressive.
TME, really good job at punishing. Let's take a look at exactly what happened. So again, they're overcommitting to this play. They should have backed off, I think, but they're still chasing, and they disrespect the Shen. That was actually a 3-man taunt.
Beautiful.
And the Cataclysm from Hero actually makes it extremely hard for TME to do for KLH to escape. They're forced to flash out of their own Cataclysm. Cataclysm being counterproductive as they're stuck inside of the walls of the Jarvan, and it's just the Trevor laying down the AoE damage. And then, the Zac was able to respawn. He popped his ultimate, got the Courage of the Colossus shield.
And the Stand United was also there. So, in short, that's what I said. 3 members were locked into their own Cataclysm. That was their own trap. And I gotta say, Koops really trusting JLC like a telepathy there. So, that's a good comeback. An ace would be more than enough. But Trevor, again, old habits die hard. He's trying to get picked off, but JLC is there for the save.
And now with that, from a 4,000 gold lead for the Kuala Lumpur Hunters to only a 1,000 gold lead, there's now TME still have hope. They have more kills than them, but the gold lead's not quite there. But this is fine for TME. They're a late game scaling team composition. They have the hyper carry in the Cogmouth. They have really good damage from the Corki.
Finally the Sightstone.
And the Sightstone has been complete. The Sightstone was actually completed right before that team fight happened. And I was about to mention, they need to be careful, as generally, if you're late to warding, you can easily get picked, as you have to go deep to get those wards in. And they have a Blitzcrank, they have a Kha'Zix, but it wasn't enough, you know. ended up making an error.
Another clash might happen. Caspiel patiently waiting in that brush. And a flash by Arhedge. Coops will not be connecting anything. Trevor sees Caspiel. Caspiel gets melted by the Trinity Force damage. Arhedge flushed the flash away. Here comes Shiro. No one gets caught by the Cataclysm. It'll be a 1-for-1 so far. But Marky is very low. He does get taken down for the passive. So it will be only 3 members. 2 members blinking red for TME, where KLH are 4 members alive.
Yeah, that was a 1-for-1 trade. So the mid dying in favor of the AD carry for TME. And, ooh, nice hook right
nice
there.
Hook for the deny. Cooks gets taken down by Bipolar. In short, KLH may take the Inferno. Uncontested, Caspiel goes in deep, takes down Rocks, and Caspiel flashes over that wall. 2 tanks remain, and this might be the ace with KLH returning the favor, but Marky does respond. But it might be an unofficial ace or Manton. JLC trying to buy some time, but it will be a shutdown onto JLC.
And that's going to be the Baron for the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Really good tempo break coming in from the Blitzcrank. I believe that was a blind hook actually, because the ward expired right as the Zac was charging the elastic slingshot. So the Blitzcrank had to guess where he'd be as this blind flew. And that's all it took, as this will be the Baron falling for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. I don't think there's much Marky can do. These Kuala Lumpur Hunter members are extremely low, and that was an extremely close steal.
Very close steal and a very close kill for Marky. Bipolar was very low, but the Baron will be going towards KLH. TME may have to be on the defensive side.
And let's take a look at exactly what happened. Yeah, I was right. Right as the ward died, it was Bipolar who predicted the trajectory of Coops. And I think at this point, you just need to run away. I don't know why JLC, standing in the bush, thought that he could maybe get the pick onto Becky, but disrespecting the Caspiel damage, the taunt didn't connect. Here comes Becky, just free hitting. Becky, he's been the unsung hero so far this time. He hasn't been doing really any big plays, but he's been consistent in what he does. And another fight breaking out at this Dragon Pit.
Cataclysm for the Shockwave combo, and 2 members again. A double kill for Arhedge. TME not respecting Arhedge's damage. 2 members down again. They were just straight from the fountain.
Yeah, and with that, that's a pretty big gold lead in favor of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Roughly 6,000 now. They still have Baron onto, I believe, 5 members, and they're going to look to push this mid lane really hard. And I'm not sure if there's much that the TME team can do. Coops is down, Rocks is down. That's a lot of their front line gone. And
teleport was cancelled. That would be a summoner down.
Yeah, I think that was a misplay coming in from JLC, and they might get punished for that, as the Stand United is still another 20 seconds before coming up again.
And now, members of KLH, they're trying to secure more turrets. 5 turrets scored to 1. They have 6 turrets. They have more control of the map.
Like we've been seeing throughout the entire game, whoever seems to get that first Baron just seems to manage to snowball the entire game. This should be the second inhibitor. I don't think there's much that TME can do, but they're going to try.
They're going to try some miracle here. Coops goes in for it again. That will not happen. JLC last a ton. Marky gets a kill onto Shiro. Now onto Arhedge. Marky's trying to chase him down, but KLH are backing off.
Yeah, so that did push the Kuala Lumpur Hunter team away from this turret, but I don't think it's enough, as they are really behind now. That's 8,000 gold. We can see these items start to pour in. Guardian Angel just purchased by Caspiel. We do see the Becky has the Infinity Edge, has a shield, picked up the Executioner's Calling. Oriana as well has been building up a decent arsenal of items. And this is a lot of damage across the board for this Kuala Lumpur Hunter team. And they need to be careful, as Marty and Trevor, very delicate. They're the majority of this team's damage. And another pick onto Rocks. It just keeps on happening. Caspiel, really good job of getting these picks this game. And I think he's been enabling this Kuala Lumpur Hunter team to just do their thing, really.
Once the Kha'Zix does snowball, look at the damage dishing out by Caspiel. Rocks getting picked off. That's a bad news. But now, let's hope that the Rage Blade for Marky will be enough to tip the balance of power. Infinity Edge completed by Trevor, but Caspiel does have the Guardian Angel. He can dive fearlessly.
Yeah, and it's going to be now 4 members of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters looking to push this top lane turret. This should fall extremely fast. That is a Tristana, and that is the Baron buff still up. So I feel like
KLH really using the Baron to the full extent, to the last drop. We're seeing Caspiel getting spotted out very low. The Guardian Angel does proc. And we see that bipolar is over that wall. GSC guarding in. GSC lands the top, and Marky gets the shutdown.
Can they capitalize on this? Can they make something happen?
GLC
Shockwave.
eats the shockwave, but does get healed and the shield from the monsoon. This will be Marky in stand up. Caspiel is no more, but the inhibitor is already taking down two inhibitors, and one Nexus turret is being contested by the minions here. Trevor going in for the flag. Marky goes for the dive, immediately gets sniped. 3-man knockup there. Trevor's very low, forced to get away, but Arch soaking up a lot of damage. Monsoon will lock him up. GLC connects the taunt. Marky takes another kill, but will be exchanging that for the inhibitor turret.
Yeah, it looks like they did lose that inhibitor, but they were able to stop the push of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They did lose the turret as well in that bottom side, so things are still looking grim for TME. They're doing their best to hold on, but I'm not sure if it's enough at this point, as it's Kuala Lumpur Hunters just almost overwhelming this team so far.
Right now, they should put... What they should do right now is that do not put Marky on a leash. He has to be released, be a ravaging pit bull, whereas JLC has to not give it too much, because also the fact that Rocks keep getting taken up by Caspiel.
Yeah, it's hard to put...
You're just feeding that cockroach over and over, and they should stop doing that.
And I think this comes down to the vision control coming in from TME. TME, I feel like their vision control this game hasn't really been that great. They haven't been investing a lot of resources into wards, as we have seen other teams, they'll like buy a lot of control wards in one go, and another pick onto Rox. That's
Jesus H!
And this is, again, it comes down to the wards. It's not Rox's fault. It's the vision control of the team. It's a team problem. TME not doing a good job of getting wards in their own jungle, so they're just getting picked. And I think at this point it's too late to fix that.
It's too late to fix broken things, but I hope the warranty does not expire yet for TME. This might be the last chance. Inhibitor is down, 2 inhibitors gone, where we see Shiro is on the bot side, takes down the third. JLC trying to contest this. We will be seeing Rocks responding in 8 seconds. Ultimates are all up, summoners fresh, and so this will be the last flash for the Eagles if they would not wish to be eaten by the Tigers. Coops goes in deep, but immediately gets melted by the time for Becky. Becky is free hitting. Coops gets the cell division. Monster for the free. Trevor trying his best. Marky is protected. Becky very low. Marky takes the kill to Becky, while GLC is keeping RH busy. GLC takes the kill onto RH. Shiro's left alone. Now with Coops trying to fend him off, will be Shiro popping. That's so played by Polar again with the slippery grabs.
And the Manila Eagles still hold on. They managed to save their very last inhibitor and get 2 kills onto the carries of this Kuala Lumpur Hunter team. Arhedge and Becky both falling. I feel like Kuala Lumpur Hunters spread themselves too thin, and you can't do that when you're against a team composition with 2 sustained damage threats in this Corki and in this in this Cogmal. And it's the Shen doing a very good job of keeping 2 members of this KLH team occupied, while Marky and Trevor just free hit onto this team.
Before this game started, I saw JLC praying in the player camp. He was praying so hard. He wants to win this. I can feel it. He is doing his best. He said, I want to win this so bad. I don't want to lose. And he prayed.
Yeah.
And I hope his prayers are answered, because this could be another chance for TME. Whereas Kuala Lumpur Hunters getting impatient, but they do have the luxury to do that. Caspiel, he's itching to end this game, and now the second Baron of the game is live.
JLC, this means a lot to him. We saw him at Rampage, how happy he was when he won. And if you think about JLC's story way back, like on his War Gods, he had nothing before League of Legends. League of Legends is his livelihood. It's what allowed him to experience so many things, allowed him to shine as an individual. And winning this, going to Worlds, would mean so much more to him as well.
It would be his nirvana. In short.
Yeah, and not even JLC, this entire team, this Manila Eagle team has been working so hard to get to this point. And same thing for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. This is the GPL, the very best teams, the very most passionate teams from every single country in Southeast Asia, facing it off to see who's the best.
So far, JLC's being this juggernaut, the vanguard of the Eagles, trying his best to at least fend up the Hunters. Caspiel, 2 control wards invested, not that efficient, so this will be vision denied, and they're trying his best. Teleport is available for Shiro, so let's see how things will turn out. 2 Nexus turrets is still available, not yet over till it's over. This is the Baron. This could change everything. We see that Trevor went home. Oh, the rocket grab will not connect to any member. JLC immediately gets melted down by that magic damage. Caspiel going after JLC. JLC will answer this with a slap to the face. Caspiel not giving up yet. Shiro's rocket grab. Oh, sorry. Bipolar's rocket grab should be available so far. So TME waiting it up, being patient.
The inhibitors are up, so this is TME's chance to make a comeback. All it's going to take is just one team fight, one Baron fight. They need to execute this properly, but the threat of Bipolar still remains, and all it takes is one hook for Kuala Lumpur Hunters to take the victory.
Oops.
Will he get the steal?
Please do it! Oh no, Kuala Lumpur Hunters with the smite, Coops with the resistance. The second thoughts in his head will back off, will try and defend the Baron waves. They do not have any more inhibitor turrets, so this is going to be their last stand.
The last stand for this TME team. Kuala Lumpur Hunters looking to take it all, and I have to give Kuala Lumpur Hunters credit. They did a really good job of coming back from the previous defeat against Resurgence. It looks like they've regained their composure, and they're looking pretty good. They have made a few mistakes here and there, but overall, very good job coming in from all of the members overall.
Oh, man.
Good hooks from Bipolar, good plays from Castiel, and here it is, the final play.
Final play, JLC the Vanguard picks up Carnage, slams it together. The last bounce could be the game changer here. Takes 3 members in, but Becky takes out Cook. Now we see a transfer. Caspiel over that wall. Marky still healthy, trying his best to melt the members of Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Shiro's guarding needles down. Caspiel is dead. JLC with the Vanguard. Becky gets picked off. It will be a double and possibly the ace. The Big Eagles will not give up.
And that is 50 seconds left on the clock. Can Team Manila Eagles take this victory, make the comeback? Both of their carries are up. They are pinging furiously at this mid lane. They want to do as much
pinging,
as
do
they
action.
can. They don't have the minions though, so that is concerning. And I really have to commend Coops and JLC. The reason why these team fights have been going so well for them is always the same combo. It's Coops setting up the initial engage, followed by the taunt from JLC. JLC's taunts have been so clutch. Let's take a look at exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, wow, really good plays, and gold is almost there. So you see, Coops, he gets a 3-man left bounce, brings them all towards JLC. Watch this. So 3 members, then right as they land, a 3-man taunt, and that just allows Trevor and Mark to just shred the entire Kuala Lumpur Hunter team. And they can't dive the backline as Brox is right there in the backline protecting Trevor, protecting Marky. Becky does his best to dive Marky Trevor, but that's a big mistake. And this is just TME's time to shine. The late game has arrived.
This is what I was talking about. You will not have a good time when there is a Janna. I can feel the frustration when I see a Janna and you go all in. You just can't win against the Janna.
Yeah, let's see what happens. TME have reduced this gold lead from roughly 12,000 to 4,000. They weren't able to get any inhibitors from that initial play, but all of their inhibitors are up. But they still need to be careful, as one Blitzcrank hook is enough for Kuala Lumpur to take the game. All it takes is just one hook onto Marky, one hook onto Rox, and KLH can just really take it all.
And also, the Elder will be live in 45 seconds. It will be maybe the game-changing thing. If ever the TME does get this drink, this will be a huge burst in damage, melting the members of KLH.
So let's see what's going to happen here. The final moments of the game, I feel like, are approaching as these members start positioning themselves over this Elder Drake. That's only 20 seconds left. All 5 members of TME have grouped up right now, and they do need to be careful. Like I said, all it takes is just one pick to make all of this effort go to waste, and regardless of who comes out on the end, the other team's gonna feel devastated, and that's not what you want when you consider just how much is on the line.
My God, Jesus Christ! Let's see how this will turn out. The Elder will be the tipping point of this game. All could be lost. This is going to be a very risky drink. Let's get to it. KLH starting to alert trade while TME going in. Comes good slap by the Rocket. Gets stopped. The next time the Caspiel takes like rock. But we see Trevor free hitting Bipolar, a sitting duck by JLC with a Stan United. Marky is doing the impossible with the triple kill.
And teleports going immediately down. That is 4 members of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters dead. Trevor and JLC, no hesitation right there. Immediately pushing this mid lane turret, and that's 40 seconds left on the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. And TME, they've done the impossible. They've managed to stall out the game and make the comeback.
Gerald, I hope you remember our bet, and this will be TME with the resilience and the tenacity, beating the Kuala Lumpur Hunters for the second time, still having a shot towards the knockout stage.
And GG, well played. That was a very exciting game of League of Legends overall. Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they played their hearts out. TME played their hearts out as well. But in the end, it was TME who came out on top, and really well played. This is top tier League of Legends right here.
So do not give up until it is over. Team Manila Eagles showed us that, and at least brought back KLH, defeating them twice for the 2-0 score of the double round robin format.
And with this, the momentum is there for TME Eagles, but also the fatigue is there. Imagine how draining, how exhausting that game must be, as next they're going to be facing the Headhunters, which they lost to in a very bad fashion yesterday. So will it be TME on top, or will it be the Headhunters who wins in this next game, you know?
So guys, there you have it, the pride of the Philippines, concluding the match between KLH and TME, with TME securing 2 victories against the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Congratulations to TME. We have been your shoutcasters. I am Vulcan, and with me was Neeb. We will see you for the next game of TME. The Howling Gale, Marky catches the hook, Rocks is still there for the assist, Goops for the rescue, Marky is very low, no barrier just yet, the heal however will save him from Caspiel. He takes 2 third hits, the Howling Gale for the knockup onto Bipolar. It will be Marky still leaning in, Goops does have the self-division, Fearless however, but Goops will take down Bipolar. Is there, JLC will be joining in the fight. Marky is going to be trying his best, but it will be Castiel getting a smite advantage. Goops flashes away. There is the Monsoon to split members, and the Shockwave will connect onto Rocks. Oh boy, Goops gets caught off guard. A Shockwave will land onto Marky. The Monsoon is there for the heal. GLC comes in for the save, and the Cataclysm onto 3 members, and it will be KLH. Really very low. Trevor gets the kill onto Becky, and it will be another kill for JLC. JLC takes the double kill, and it might be an ace, ladies and gentlemen. TME gets the ace with JLC getting the... Immediately gets 19-man knockup there. Trevor's very low, forced to get away, but Arch soaking up a lot of damage. Monsoon will lock him up. JLC connects the con. Marky takes another kill, but will be exchanging that for the guys for Becky. Becky is free hitting. Coops gets the cell division. Monsoon for the free hit. Trevor trying his best. Marky is protected. Becky very low. Marky takes the kill to Becky, while JLC is keeping RH busy. JLC takes the kill onto RH. Shiro's left alone. Now with Coops trying to fend him off, will be Shiro popping that stone play back here.
And here it is, the final play.
Final play, JLC the Vanguard picks up RH, stabs it together. The last bounce to be the game changer here. Takes 3 members in, but Becky takes out Coops. Now we see a transfer. Caspiel over that wall. Marky still healthy, trying his best to melt the members of Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Shiro's guarding it down. Caspiel is dead. JLC with the Vanguard. Becky gets picked off. It will be a double and possibly the ace. The Big Eagles will not give up.
And that is 50 seconds left on the clock. Out the game and make the comeback.
Gerald, I hope you remember our bet, and this will be TME with the resilience and the tenacity, beating the Kuala Lumpur Hunters for the second time, still having a shot towards the knockout stage.
And GG, well played. That was a very exciting game of League of Legends overall.